Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Friday Lights here, and welcome to Windowsception. Anyways, so I have some bad news. My computer hates me, and so does OBS. I just barely made a video about me complaining about OBS and my computer, but for most of it, it was a black screen. Go figure. But, so today I was hoping to get in and play some Geometry Dash and show you guys the new level, Finger Dash, in the latest update of Geometry Dash 2.1. Also, when I was watching the video, I noticed that the sound was extremely loud and you couldn't really hear me talking. Yeah, did you hear that beep? That was my computer. Every time I tried to record something other than just looking at my desktop, my computer screams at me. It shouldn't do that. Well, so far, yep, there it is. And I have no idea why it would do that. I honestly have no idea why it would do that. So you may remember a couple videos back when I was updating you guys, I told you I was getting a new graphics card. I thought it was going to be an RX 460, but I hopped on Newegg a couple days after Christmas to actually buy it, and I noticed like shell shocker deal for an R9 380. I thought, what could go wrong? Well, let me tell you what could go wrong with that. So first, let me show you the GPU I had before. It was a NVIDIA GT520. And all you tech-savvy people are laughing your butts off right now. So here's the one I had. A NVIDIA GeForce GT520. Crap. Absolute, it's 370. It's number 370 out of 530. Freaking, it was a trash card. So here's the one I was going to get. The RX 460. Which would have been just over 1,000% better than what I had. It's 59th out of 530. That's weird. It used to be 60th. Huh. Anyways, it's 59th out of 530. And here's the one I ended up getting because it was on sale. I mean, to be honest, I hopped on Newegg, I saw the shell shocker deal, and I'm just like, add to cart and check out. See, this one is supposedly 2,000% better than the one I had. So, come the package, I hopped out of Unhappy Meal's car and ran up to my front porch, and there it was, my R9 380. I was so happy to have it, and so, naturally, I kicked my siblings off the computer, I pulled it, ripped it apart, yanked out the GT520. I didn't actually yank it, I was afraid that something would happen, so I was gentle with it so I could put it back in if I absolutely had to, but I was hoping to avoid that. So I put it in, and everything ran okay until the computer started beeping at me. I'm like, that's weird. So then the 380 says that it needs a 500 watt power supply to run correctly. I had a 400 watt, so, I mean, I was cutting it close. But, like, all the power supply calculators I used said that I should only need a max of about 430 watts. So I was like, okay, whatever. So my computer started beeping at me, so I'm like, okay, well, I have my CPU and my RAM overclocked. I'm just going to base clock those, so just in case, so that they take less power. So I restarted my computer, and it never turned back on. So at this point, I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh crap, my power supply's not big enough. So then I went upstairs, having like the worst depression attack. Actually, no, that's not even close to true. I was seriously depressed about this though. I was super bummed out. So I went up, I got the GT520 out of the box, because I was so confident that this was going to work that I even packaged everything back up. So I slowly took apart my computer, pulled out the 380, put it back in the packaging to stare out on my shelf until I could figure out what to do. Because I'm broke, I don't have money to buy a new power supply. So what I did was I put the 520 back in, and I called a friend. Luckily, he had a 550 watt power supply that I could borrow until I can afford to get my own. Sweet, right? So I went over to his house, I got it, and I threw everything together, and here we are. With a 550 watt power supply and an R9 380 that supposedly only needs a 500 watt. And yet my computer still beeps at me, everything's still base clocked. I even disabled the core performance boost that AMD offers. I disabled that. I made it so that it won't automatically overclock when it's needed to. So everything's still base clocked, and yet my system still screams at me when I try to do anything like too graphics intensive, or even sometimes when I do something CPU intensive. It doesn't make sense. So here I'm stuck. It wasn't beeping at me when I was using Radeon Relive, but for whatever reason, that wouldn't record full screen stuff. And I don't know why. What are we looking at? What am I looking at? I believe I was looking at... No, it was somewhere over... Anyways, so... when I was using Radeon Relive, it wasn't doing that to me. So, but it wouldn't record stuff in full screen. So, my question for you guys is, would you rather deal with me having a beep in the background constantly in my videos, or would you rather, like, have to not see everything in full screen? Because honestly, I don't know what to do here. So, yeah, that was my story. That was my rant. I'm still considering trying to sell this for the $180 that it's worth, because I got it on a killer deal. I bought it for $120, so I'm considering selling the R9 380 and getting the RX 460 and a better power supply, because if I remember right, if nothing goes wrong, LOL, Murphy's Law applies, which means everything that can go wrong will, so naturally something will go wrong. But I've considered selling the R9 380 for the $200 that it's worth, and then getting an RX 460 and a new power supply, because I'm pretty sure that the RX 460 also supports screen recording. But I don't want to get rid of this thing. No way do I want to get rid of this thing. So I'm stuck with a dilemma. So that was my rant. Thank you all for watching. And, I'd just like to thank whoever subscribed to me for unknown reasons for doing so, and I hope you enjoy what little content I have to offer, seeing as how this stupid thing won't work. But, you know, I do what I can, and what I can't do, I still do anyways, because I'm an idiot. So yeah, there was my rant, and I'd actually like some responses as to whether you'd rather deal with a beep, or if you'd rather deal with not seeing stuff in full screen. Ooh. Sorry, that's probably giving one of you a headache. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'd ask that you would please vote on this matter, and that's pretty much it. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.